I have PKD, or APKD, or more specifically, polycystic kidney disease. So what does that mean for me? What does that mean for my family? Honestly, I'm not so sure. First, what is PKD? Well, according to WebMD, polycystic kidney disease is an inherited disorder in which clusters of cysts develop primarily within your kidneys, causing your kidneys to enlarge and lose function over time. Some inheritance. Here are my stats so far. I'm 34 years old, I weigh 190 pounds, and my kidney function is at 80%. And my kidneys probably look like someone just poured their soda over a hamburger patty. Sorry about that visual. When it comes to PKD, I have plenty of family history to look at. I can go all the way back to my dad. That's actually as far back as I can find when it comes to PKD in my genetic history. I think he had a cousin or somebody who also had the disease, but I'm not entirely sure. My dad's kidneys failed when he was around 42 years old. And from my understanding, the way PKD typically works is that if one of your parents had PKD, it's likely that your kidney disease will follow the same pattern, which in my case would mean I have about 5-ish years before my kidneys completely fail and I need a transplant. Wait, is that right? That can't be right. The thing is, my dad knew absolutely nothing about his kidney failure until it was too late, and he had to be put on dialysis and put on a search for a new kidney. Side note, that's actually a really incredible story and something completely deserving of its own video at another time. So can I only count on enjoying the next 5 years without fear of kidney failure? Or is my situation going to be different? Well, that's impossible to know, but I have some advantages that my dad didn't have when he was first diagnosed. Number 1. There's a chance I can prolong the lifespan of my kidneys. There's no guarantee for prolonging your kidney's life, but there has been some amazing research and some ongoing research for slowing the progression of cysts and even potentially reversing cyst growth altogether. There's intermittent fasting, lowering your protein intake, having a lower BMI, or drugs like tolvaptan or even prevestatin. Some of these things are unproven or have huge side effects that may not even be worth it. But the point is, there are things I can try that people like my dad who are blindsided by the disease don't get to try, which at the end of the day means I have hope for my kidneys. Hope is important, and I'll get into that later. Number 2, I can prepare myself mentally. Imagine one day that your stomach and back start hurting terribly and you start peeing blood and you go to the doctor and they tell you that your kidneys have almost zero function. You immediately have to go on dialysis and be put on a waiting list for a kidney transplant. Everything comes into question then. Your good job, the nice house you live in, and those plans you've had to scale Mount Everest. I have a job I love. I have my dream home and plenty of plans for the future, but I'm also mentally prepared for the fact that those things I have, those plans I've made, might have to be altered in some way. And in some cases, unfortunately, abandoned. There is a chance that I won't be able to work when and if my kidneys fail. There is a chance that the plans I'm making, even now, for our future, may not be possible when and if my kidneys fail. But if I know that ahead of time, it's not going to be as devastating when I can't do those things, or if I have to pivot instead. Number 3, I can prepare my family. I believe I was about 3 years old when my dad learned about his kidney failure, so there's a lot I don't remember about it, but I do remember that none of us, me, my brother, my sister, my mom, were prepared for what the next year would look like. As a 3 or 4-year-old, I wasn't too bothered by it. I got to stay with my grandparents for a summer and it was great. But behind the scenes, things were chaotic and people were worried about this random event that came up. Since my mom was giving my dad a kidney, we didn't know what the outcome would be. It was dangerous for both of them and there was no contingency plans made for this specific scenario. But since I know ahead of time, I can know what my family needs are and can plan accordingly. Number 4, I can prepare myself financially. I put this in its own category because I think it needs to be reiterated. If you bring in the majority of your family's income and you know you've got PKD, you need to plan for your financial future. I'll admit I haven't been doing as great with this part as I could have been, though I'm taking steps to correct that. But kidney failure is no joke, and there is a solid chance that when and if my kidneys fail, I might not be able to work, and I'm going to need as much in savings as I can afford to put in there. In this case, every little bit helps. Even if you aren't able to save a lot of money, a few $1,000s in the bank is going to do more for you than nothing. My personal goal? I would like to have at least a year's worth of income saved in the bank in addition to retirement investments. I know that's not possible for everyone, and I'm not sure it's even possible for me at the moment, but it's still a goal. You know what's best for you and your family. Set a goal and do whatever you can to reach that goal. Anything you have prepared will be beneficial to you and your family when and if your kidneys fail. And if they come up with a miracle drug in the next year or two that heals your kidneys altogether, well, splurge on a nice vacation or something and be happy you're ahead on your investments. Number 5, I can have hope. I think learning that your kidneys have failed leaves you little room to have hope when you haven't had a chance to prepare yourself. I know right now that my kidneys are actively dying and being suffocated. It's not a fun fact to realize, but I can also be encouraged by all the work that's being done into fixing the problem. And I already know there are some treatments that may be available to me soon. They may or may not be what I need, but actively fighting this disease is something that gives me hope. And finding other people with the same battle encourages me because I know I'm not alone. I can see what others are doing and try to help the problem, and we can share information. I get to search the web every other week and learn about new studies being done to cure PKD, or at least make it better, and I get encouraged by that, especially when I think about the fact that each of my kids have a 50-50 chance of having PKD. I would encourage you, if you know someone in your family with PKD, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get yourself checked. If you find out you have it, there are steps you can take to help yourself. If you find out you don't have it, well, then you can have peace of mind that comes with a nice pair of healthy kidneys. And maybe, just maybe, you might consider donating one. God made us with 2, and one's plenty. Just a thought. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share it with somebody you may know who's dealing with PKD or is possibly dealing with PKD or knows somebody that's dealing with PKD. It's a scary thing, and my goal here is to just kind of, make it less scary and for us to be able to talk about it. But anyway, see you in the next one.